Hello. What I'm going to do in this tutorial is continue a little bit with the renting a bed that I did, and we're going to add prostitutes to this really rubbish rent a bed place, a motel. The first thing I'm going to do is go to this rent quest that I made the first time, and just add another variable to the rent script. And the reason I'm adding this is just so that you can't accidentally rent the room twice. So I'm just going to pop a little thing under where I've said here to remove the room. I'm just going to write set rented to 0. And in the topic, rent topic, we're going to add a new condition. We're going to get quest variable rent quest rented has to equal 0. And then in this result script, I'm just going to write set rent quest, that's the ID of the quest up here, dot rented to 1. And this is just so that you can't, because when I add the prostitute in, the prostitute is also going to serve as a way to rent the bed. I'm just putting that in so that you don't accidentally rent the room twice. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is, obviously you can't share a one bed with a prostitute. So we're going to have to go back to furniture and find a new bed. So it's going to have to be a both sides bed, so this bed will probably do. So bed queen both sides. So I'm going to click here and hit Control F, and this will bring up a replace thing. And so the bed we want to replace with is bed queen both sides. And now that's just replaced it. And I did the replace so that it keeps its reference, because that was actually used by the game. So let's just move that into a position, and there we go. The bed is set up, so we can ignore that initial setup for now. I'm just going to save the plugin in case something happens. And now we're going to create a new NPC. I think this is the first time I've ever made a woman in any tutorial before. So I'm going to give it a unique ID, a woman NPC. And now let's call her. We don't want to call her. Oh, that's a bit rude. Prostitute. And I'm going to keep everything exactly the default, except I'm going to check this female box so that we have a female woman. So let's hit OK. And let's click and drag a woman NPC into the world. So here she is, a prostitute. So, bam, there we go, we have ourselves a little prostitute. And so now we're going to go to package, and we're going to create 2 packages. The first one is, I'm going to call it Prost Sand, and we're going to make it a sandbox. So let's just leave it as near editor location 1000. So that'll just mean that she'll wander around within a 1000 radius. I mean, I've done a tutorial on this, so. Okay. And now we're going to do Prost Sleep. And this is a sleep package. So sleep location. Well, we're going to want to double click this. Oh, there's a persistent reference already, that's good. Near reference, select reference, and select that bed. And this is the bed that will be rented. We're going to hit OK. Now we're going to want to go back to the quest, the rent quest. And I'm going to open the script and create a new variable. Should have done this at the start. Short hired. And now we're going to want to go back to those packages. I should have done this earlier so we didn't have to go back and forward, but I didn't think. So Prost Sand, conditions, right click, new. Get quest variable. Rent quest hired, it appeared at the top, has to equal 0 for the sandbox. Prost sleep. Conditions, and we're going to do exactly the same. Get quest variable rent quest hired, only this time make it equal 1. So now we're going to go back to quest. And we're just going to add one more thing in the begin game mode section. Set hired to 0. So essentially that just makes sure that after the rent day is over, she'll, get out of the bed. Because we don't want her to stay in the bed forever. That would be an unreasonable thing to do. So we're going to create a new greeting. We'll say, hello, it's 100 caps for the night. So that's our greeting. And we're going to condition it so only the prostitute says it. So we'll leave everything as it is here. And what did we call her? We called her woman NPC. And now I'm going to just go into rent topic and create a new topic. And we'll say, let's get to it. I assume that's what a prostitute would say if you hired her. So I'm just going to go to this here and copy this condition and paste it in. Now it doesn't matter that I'm reusing the same topic again because I've put the specific IDs so that rent NPC will say this one and the prostitute will say this one. So that doesn't matter. So I'll just go to, I didn't link all the topics up. So let's put all the topics in. Because didn't do that last time, that was a mistake. Anyway, my tutorials tend to assume you have a certain knowledge. So rent topic. So what I've done here is I've done all this stuff here. So I'm just going to copy this in. And hold on, I'll copy that rented condition as well for the prostitute. And just paste all the same stuff in. Only this time I'm going to do set hired, no wait, set rent quest dot hired to 1. So what this does, it does exactly the same thing as the other one. It will remove 100 caps, which is the price. It will set hired to 1, and when hired is set to 1, the prostitute will go and sleep in the bed. When rented is set to 1, that just makes sure that you can't hire them twice in a row, because that would be a bit irritating if you've wasted 100 caps. That unlocks the door, sets the ownership of the bed, sets the particular rent day so that you can only have it for 1 day. And then the rent scripts, because I've used exactly the same motel, it just runs exactly the same. After 1 day, it'll close the door, lock the door, make the ownership be the NPC, and then set rented and hired to 0. And when hired is 0, our prostitute will return to sandboxing, and you can then just rent her again straight away if you want to. And that's pretty much it. Only a short one really for prostitutes. I've made prostitutes in the same way that the game makes them. I think you just kind of go to sleep in the bed with them. It's not very interesting, but that's just how the game is set up. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been useful. Goodbye.